What's up? How you doing? Beautiful night tonight, December 28th, 2022. Another year is expiring. 2022 just came in, now it's going out. The older you get, the faster time seems to go. It's like I don't think you retain as much information about the year the older you get, so it just seems like there's less time in the year because you're not remembering as much of it, you're not recalling as much of it. I remember 93 rolling in. I remember 83. And 83 was the Innocent Man album was out. Like 7 songs off of that album were released, something like that. Crazy. And then 93. 93, I know where I was, but it was kind of like boring. It was at a restaurant. But 94, New Year's Eve 94, I was at an Aerosmith concert. and then around 10 seconds before midnight, they had a cable and a guy on a motorcycle, and he was dressed up as Father Time, and he was going up the cable with his motorcycle. And just as it hit zero, he hits some whatever ball it was, and it lit up like fireworks, and everybody was like, Happy New Year. And it was 1994, and 94 was like 100 years ago. But yeah, time goes fast the older you get. I remember being a kid, and your birthday seemed like a long time to get to it. You'd have a birthday, and then it seemed like a long time would pass in between. Now you have a birthday, you eat a few meals, you sleep a couple of times, and then it's your birthday again. So it's strange. Anyway, for Christmas we got a beverage here. I don't know if you could see that. Rum. I don't know much about rum. I think I've had rum like 3 times in my life, so I'm not knowledgeable about rum. The only thing I know about rum is that pirates would always drink rum. Jack Sparrow on that ship, they had barrels of rum. So this is called Flor de Cana, or Cana. Flor de Cana rum. So we're going to try a little bit. Remember, do not drink and drive, drink in moderation. This is to enjoy. It's not for you to wake up the next day with a hangover and feel like you have radiation sickness. It's just a little bit. Don't turn into a booze bag. Nice smell. Nice bottle. I like the bottles. Very thick glass. That's thick glass. If I ever wanted to send a message around the world, I would write a message, put it in the bottle, put the cork in the bottle, and then I would go out 10 miles into the Pacific Ocean and throw it, and then wait. I've mentioned before that we did that in the 5th grade. My teacher, he said to us, write a letter, say whatever you want, date it, fold it up, give it to me, and I will throw it into back then it was the Atlantic Ocean. So we wrote letters, put it in a container, gave it to the teacher. Teacher went on the boat, went out like 10 miles or so, and then he gave it a toss into the Atlantic Ocean. Still waiting for a response. So anyway, we're going to try this Flor de Cana, C-A-N-A, with the, whatever you call that, the wave on the end. Just a little bit. It's got a nice aroma. Hello. How are you? Nice to meet you. But the guy I watch on YouTube, his name is Robert Patterson. Robert Patterson. And he does whiskey. He's a whiskey blender, been doing it for like 55 years, and he knows everything. And you watch him, it's very relaxing. It's like watching Bob Ross paint, except it's whiskey. So he does it at an angle. Hello, how are you? He says do it slow. You don't want to be too aggressive. But anyway, he says to switch nostrils because he says depending on the time of day, you may have one nostril dominating the other. So, but yeah, it's a good smell. Good smell. So we're gonna try a little bit. Not bad. I'm not full of adjectives yet, like some of these guys are when they take a little sip and they know exactly what to say. I will say it's very tasty, a little bit sweet, not too sweet, a little bit. Of course, when I say smooth, yeah, when I'm having this and thinking that it's rum, like if you didn't tell me it was, if I didn't know it was rum, if I didn't read rum here, I could easily think it's a different kind of whiskey. You know, I'm still kind of learning about what the difference is. You know, somebody could say, hey, try this whiskey, it could be rum, I wouldn't know. And like I said, the only thing I know about rum is that pirates love this stuff. Not the new pirates now that get on ships and hijack them and take them somewhere else. I'm talking about the pirates that had the funny hats, might have had maybe a wooden leg on, maybe a hook. Those pirates. And this is, I think, it's kind of dark here, but I think I read Nicaragua. Pretty sure this is a Nicaragua product from Nicaragua. Can't really see it here, kind of dark, but I remember reading that this came from an area where there's a lot of volcanic soil. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly whiskey. I mean, the more I'm trying it, the more I can tell there's a difference. But it's not that big of a difference. It's not like I'm having whiskey and then I try this and this tastes like lemonade. They're very similar. Very similar. But there is a bit of a sweetness to it, and there must be, since they make it from cane sugar or sugar cane, depending on what part of the world you're from. Not bad. I don't know if rum has special glasses you're supposed to drink it out of, but I'm using the whiskey glass here. It has a special name. I do not know what it is. I have to look it up. Might have to go on the YouTube account over there of Robert Patterson and see if he mentions what the name of these glasses are. But he does a hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. Everybody's got a technique. And then I like watching, for information purposes, I like watching the Whiskey Vault. Two guys, they have like 15,000 bottles behind them. And every so often they bring out a new bottle and they taste it and they give their opinion. But they sound like they know what they're talking about. Yeah, it's okay. It's more than okay. It's very good, actually. But I cannot imagine being a pirate and being lit all day. All day they were drinking this stuff. They must have been dehydrated all the time. But yeah, so that's what I think of Jack Sparrow. Not bad. Robert Patterson, he says that you drink this, swirl it around the front of the tongue, sides, middle, the back, swallow it. Then he counts to 12 or whatever. He counts to some point, and then he goes, you feel that flavor come back out. And then there's one video where, and this is whiskey I'm talking about now, not rum. I haven't seen any rum videos. Then he gives a 86% dark chocolate to some lady. Puts it in her mouth, and he explains to her how the whiskey now is combining with the flavor of the chocolate. And I guess she's supposed to imagine that there's coffee flavor to it or something. So I enjoy watching him. Like I said, he's the Bob Ross of whiskey tasting. Very relaxing. And the other thing I like is when there's a video where he takes a sip out of the whiskey glass, puts it in his mouth, and he's counting down, but he's squishing it around his mouth like scope. And he's doing Then he swallows, and I guess he breathes in and breathes out, and he enjoys the whole experience of the flavor. So yeah, 55 years, long time. He does all these things. He's got this glass full of water, takes out a handkerchief that he might have blown some boogers in earlier, and he puts it over the glass, and then he takes his whiskey and pours it in there, and then like a magician removes the handkerchief, and the whiskey is floating on top of the water. And then he hands it over to the lady and tells her to put the straw in and take some water out, as much as she thinks is necessary, and then drink some whiskey. And I was thinking, if somebody did that to me with a handkerchief out of their pocket, I don't know, I wouldn't find it that appealing to try that whiskey. I would be like, don't you have something else you can use? But anyway, the whiskey was floating on top, because whiskey, he says, is lighter than water. But yeah, it's a good channel. But I highly recommend Whiskey Vault. They seem to know a lot about different whiskeys. And up until maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago, 5 months ago, I thought all whiskeys tasted about the same. And that's not true. That's not true. I watch Whiskey Vault, and every whiskey brand has its own unique flavor, style, taste. And then there's really crappy ones. There's a YouTube channel I was watching where they try whiskeys that you think are good, but they're actually cheap garbage. And the guy will go like, that's horrible. That's a 1 star out of 5. So I watch that and I go, yeah, don't get that stuff. But, you know, the key to all this is small amounts, moderation. You know, don't drink where you can't find your room at night. Walking around the house and you can't figure out where your room is, your bedroom. You know, you just have a little bit, and then you find your room and you go to bed at night. That's it. So anyway, once again, 2022 is almost done. 2023 coming in, and I can't believe it's been 3 years since 2020 rolled in with all that pandemic stuff, and it seems like the pandemic is making a comeback. You hear about China having every single hospital bed filled up in the emergency rooms. It's like crazy. This thing is not willing to leave us alone 3 years later. So who knows what's going to happen. Can't get back to normal if you have a virus on the loose. Anyway, that's it. Peaceful night. I see a little bit of a cloud sliding through there. We're supposed to get rain. You know, it's supposed to get rain, but who knows? The only weatherman I trust, he's no longer alive, but he was number one for me. Dr. Bruce von Schwegler, better known as Bruce Schwegler. I think he died a year ago. I don't know, not that long ago. He was my favorite weatherman, Bruce Schwegler. But it sounds better, Dr. Bruce von Schwegler. Yep. Anyway, that's it.